You.
Hey.
Separate wireless plans costing you a fortune?
You.
Come to T-Mobile, where couples talk free.
Free?
Free.
Come to T-Mobile, where couples talk free and get the most whenever minutes.
T-Mobile. Get more.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Monday Night Football being brought to you by Cadillac and the new STS with available performance-tuned all-wheel drive breakthrough. And T-Mobile, get more minutes, features, more service. Tom Landry display Cowboy memorabilia here. Emmitt Smith, his uniform. That was Bob Hayes' uniform and his gold medal right there. A little too early to induct Emmitt, but he'll be in there someday. Philadelphia on top by 14. Big play for the Dallas defense here. 2-touchdown lead. They're already in field goal range are the Eagles. 3rd down and 9.
And the Eagles are in the huddle for a long time, so this wouldn't be a bad shot here for a trick play. And I know they have a run pass in the game.
Instead, he drops straight back, throws into the end zone, and Terrell Owens comes up with the football for the touchdown.
That's the one. That's a better choice. You throw to him, he gets 3 touchdowns for you.
And then a slam dunk, 3 touchdown receptions. That one good for 16 yards for Terrell Owens.
And you're going to see him right here, and he's just going to come up and then go out to this area here. You get the tight end trying to get to the outside. Terrell Owens going to the inside and then to the corner. Again, they got double coverage. Terrence Newman is right there. The ball just goes right over his hands and into Terrell Owens's.
Akers to the point after. 12 touchdown catches this season for Owens. He had 3 on opening day against the Giants. He has 3 tonight, and Philadelphia has 5 touchdowns in its last 5 possessions. Thus, it's 42-21.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car for the game.
Yeah, they pick us up. Free.
Free pickup. They ought to be number 1.
They are number 1.
So if Enterprise is number 1, why don't they have these?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Every morning, the first thing that we do is let fire out of its cage. We turn a few knobs, and boom. The whoosh. The whoosh is a promise. It makes your mouth water. We live for the whoosh. If you live for the whoosh, stop on by.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? It all starts with a Pioneer plasma display. The purest color, the purest experience. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
Monday Night Football from Irving, Texas. Most consecutive games with a TD reception in the history of this now 35-year-old program. Owens has now caught a touchdown pass in each of his last 7 Monday night games. 5 of those with San Francisco. 2 of them this season. 3 touchdown lead again, and Richard Lee to run it back for the Dallas Cowboys. And they just won't die. All the way to the 34 of Philadelphia. David Akers, the kicker, takes him down.
That's what Bill Parcells was talking about yesterday, saying that he would like to play Rashard Lee more. He's just not sure of him as a running back and pass protection and those kinds of things, but he's pretty doggone good at this as a kick returner. See, the first thing, he gets a ball and you get right up into your wedge as quickly as you can. And then when you get through that wedge, that'll be the first group. Then you make your cut to the outside, and the only guy left was a kicker. David Akers is going to make a pretty good play, though, because he's, as I said, he's the only guy here. You wonder what would have happened if Lee would have tried to cut back.
That's a 62-yard run back. Dallas in business again at the 34 of Philadelphia. Here comes the blitz. Then he sets up the screen. Richie Anderson, but he's taken down by Hollis Thomas, laying back, protecting, and is able to tackle him for a loss of a couple.
You know, everyone's running screens in this league now, and the tackles sometimes are playing it better than the offenses that run it. I think that's what happened that time. Hollis Thomas, you're going to see him. He's right here over the right guard. Now, he starts to rush, and then when he feels the screen going, he runs right down the line. So he starts up like a pass rush. Now he feels it, and instead of keep going, he just runs right down the line and cuts Richie Anderson off at the pass.
This off his block. Second down and 12. Anderson to the outside. He gets taken down. And that's Sam Rayburn has really come on.
Well, they really like him. They call him truck driver. And because he kind of looks like a truck driver, plays like a truck driver, he's one of those lunch pail guys that just gets in there and mixes it up in the pits. He's been playing about 25 plays a game, and Jim Johnson said that's not enough. He's playing too well. So tonight he wants him to get like 40 plays a game.
Got in a car accident this week, too.
Yeah, no, that's a whopper right there. But some guys, like, you know, if your nickname is truck driver and you're Sam, you got to have a big old gash in your head.
Perfect. Torrin Tucker moved, number 77.
And then you're a run stuffer. All those things go together.
Number 77, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Very odd thing about this game, John. We've had 9 touchdowns, no field goals. 63 points.
So again, do you call that good red zone offense or bad red zone defense?
Half empty, half full.
But again, every time, you know, Dallas gets something going, then Philadelphia just answers and goes down and scores. But Dallas is hanging in there. I mean, then they come back and get something going.
A lot of the TDs from outside the red zone tonight. Testaverde had his arm hit by Javon Curse as he tried to fling it. Flag now after the play.
There was a blitz coming from that side. But the Eagles haven't run a lot of blitzes tonight, but they overloaded that left side.
Offense, number 65. The penalty is declined. Brings up fourth down.
Got his arm hit, and thus it wound up hitting the right guard.
And this is the side of the overload, and you're going to see right here Javon Curse. He just runs right around Torrin Tucker. He just gets up the ball snap. It looks like Tucker is a little late off the ball. He doesn't even get out of his stance. Javon Curse was on his outside shoulder.
Matt McBriar to punt. Floater, fair caught, 13-yard line. Lito Shepard. 4:01 remaining, third quarter. The Philadelphia Eagles 42 and the Dallas Cowboys 21.
There are good ideas. There are great ideas. Then there are ideas that meet a higher standard. And those are the only ideas that make it into our trucks and SUVs. GMC Professional Grade Engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Your shoes will be dyed. Nails.
It's amazing the sacrifices you'll make for friendship. With Diet Dr. Pepper, you sacrifice nothing. Diet Dr. Pepper tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
You eyeballing me, Martinez? No. It's okay. Let's get married.
Fajitas. Ooh, fajita. Ah! There's a whole new way to look at fajitas.
Ooh, fajitas.
The Fajita Grilled Stuffed Burrito from Taco Bell. Loaded with authentic carne asada steak and grilled fajita vegetables. All wrapped in a flour tortilla and grilled to go.
Ooh, fajitas.
For sizzling fajita taste, think outside the bun.
Today, we'll help a computer company move components from South America to Asia. We'll manage their inventory in warehouses around the world. We'll send a €2 million payment to their vendor in Brussels. At UPS, we don't just synchronize deliveries. We help synchronize companies. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
We haven't seen the Patriots since the opener against Indianapolis way back in September, but they're on Monday night next week, the world champions, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. New England at KC next Monday night. From the 14-yard line, McNab on first down throws a one-hopper. 2nd and 10. To Michelle we go.
Well, and to Emmitt Smith we go. 2 touchdowns yesterday, and as you mentioned, he crossed that 18,000-yard mark. Congratulations. How are things going there in Arizona for you?
Well, so far they're going pretty good this year. I mean, we're still one game away from 500. We're trying to get above 500. We have something nice going right now with 2 wins back-to-back. So we got our work cut out for us this week against Carolina, but I think we're going to go to battle on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, get prepared for those guys and try to do the best we can against them.
You were just talking to Jerry Jones, who you told me is still your boss. You come back here to see games. What is it like to be back here?
I don't come back here to see games. This happened to be one of the first games I've ever came back to outside of playing here. So, I mean, it's nice to come back, and I'm only going to be here for a little bit. I have meetings tomorrow morning, so I'm going to be breaking out here. As soon as I get done talking to you, I'm out of here.
Last time you were here as a player, you took a hit from Roy Williams, got injured. What do you remember of that?
I'm trying to forget it, but you keep bringing it up. But, you know, I mean, that's part of the game of football. Roy is such a great player, and he's a hard hitter. And that leg was one of the hardest hits I had in a long time. And so my memories here are all good, all except for that one day. And getting dressed in the visitor locker room was something tough, but that's just the nature of the beast. And I'm happy to be out in Arizona right now with the bid wheels and Coach Greens and my teammates trying to do the best we can to get some more wins and victories under our belt so we can move forward.
You told me before we came on camera that this is the closest experience you've had to experiences you had with the Cowboys in the past.
Right. I think we're playing, I mean, in terms of the atmosphere that I'm playing in, with Denny leading the show, in terms of the way the guys are working hard and preparing ourselves week to week and going in and fighting, it is as close as it's been for me. In terms of being a part of a winning championship team, I think we're working on something out there. We're trying to get there, and we got enough guys working hard enough to get there as well. So we're working hard.
Did you ever consider staying here and playing for Bill Parcells?
I mean, it crossed my mind, and I just never had the opportunity to really talk to Parcells about it. And so I figured it was something that they wanted, and just made it very easy for them and just decided to move forward. It was the best thing for both of us, for me to get out of the way and allow Parcells to come in and do what he needed to do for the ball club, and for me to go on about my business and do what I need to do.
Emmitt, thanks for stopping. We appreciate it.
Right.
You know, last time he came here, he said it was so tough being in the visitors' locker room, he cried, Al.
Well, it's great to see Emmitt, and it's great to see him doing as well as he is. And after a 3-and-out, a short kick, and a run back there by Patrick Creighton to the 38-yard line. Now look at that Emmitt Smith. He's averaging about 19 carries a game in his dotage.
Yeah, and they thought he was all done baloney.
Can you hear me now? Good. Now. Good. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good.
We ask the same question over and over.
Can you hear me now?
So that you don't have to.
Good.
Verizon Wireless has fewer dropped calls than any other wireless network.
Good. Can you hear me now?
It's what makes us the most reliable wireless network in the nation.
Now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good.
Verizon Wireless.
Can you hear me now?
We never stop working for you.
Good.
Where to?
I could go for a large order of how come it looks so much bigger in the picture.
Or how about an extra spicy did you bring to antacid?
Not me. I'm going for a total happiness.
We always get a total happiness.
And?
Yeah.
Yes, total happiness just might be a Subway meatball marinara. A giant sandwich with meatballs, melted cheese, and fresh baked bread.
What you got there?
A little something I call total happiness.
Well, you got total happiness on your shirt.
Subway, eat fresh.
There is no safe cigarette. Light and ultralight cigarettes are no exception. To reduce the health effects of smoking, the best thing to do is to quit. At philipmorrisusa.com, you can find this and other information on the serious health effects of smoking, along with links to sites that can help smokers quit. For more, call or visit philipmorrisusa.com.
We have a big surprise for everyone this Friday.
Did you hear that?
At 8/7 Central, look for a special all-new Hope and Faith. And at 9/8 Central, Nick Lachey joins them.
And he has a thing for beautiful and talented blondes. Ahem.
Hope and Faith and Nick, all new Friday on ABC.
Back in Irving, Texas, as the Dallas Cowboys try to hang in, and they're doing it against a defense right now. Mark Semino is out with a concussion. Nate Wayne is out, strained a hamstring. Corey Simon hasn't played in a while. Keith Adams is in the game. There is Wayne on the sideline. So a little patchwork Philadelphia defensive unit as Vinny Testaverde and the Cowboys go to work from the 37. And Eddie George barely gets out of the backfield. It's Jeremiah Trotter with the tackle.
Now, that was a good play by Jeremiah Trotter in that he just ran through. You know, sometimes a middle linebacker will sit back there and read and try and hit a gap, and sometimes he'll just penetrate. And you see Trotter here, he's going to hit the gap right here, and then he can flatten out. He comes in there, now he flattens out right down the line and gets Eddie George before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. You see him hit the gap right there and then flatten out and come in and make the play from behind.
2nd and 9. Witten goes in motion. George to the outside. But he's taken down by his shirt by Jeremiah Trotter again, working the middle, working the sidelines. Ball out of bounds at the 31, 3rd and about 4 coming up.
Well, Jim Johnson was saying that Jeremiah Trotter had been playing very well. They've been playing him on short yardage and goal line and on special teams. And then he was just a bigger guy than Mark Semino. And you can see rather than playing back, Jeremiah Trotter is playing everything on the Cowboys side of the ball rather than reading and getting knocked back off the line like what happened to Mark Semino.
And now another Philly injury. That's Javon Curse, who is down for the moment. So they're missing Simon. They're missing Wayne. Well, they're missing Semino. Now you've got Javon Curse, who is the other Eagle who's hurt. Got blocked by the tight end Witten, who was working out of the slot here.
Yeah, you see he comes in motion and then gets outside of him. Javon Curse is going down the line and Jason Witten just cuts him. Stuff doesn't bend that way.
Still down is the ex-Titan. Came in with a flourish in his rookie year of 99. Dubbed himself the Freak.
Yeah, he's running off the field. That's
yeah.
I think he really didn't see Jason Witten. Jason Witten started on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and then it came in motion across the backfield, and then really outflanked him. So when the ball, the last time he looked, there was no one that outflanked him. Then as the play started, he was outflanked by Witten.
Now you've got Derek Burgess going to Curse's side of the line defensively, and Hugh Douglas is in the game. Ball at the 30, 3rd down and 3. A minute and a half to go, 3rd quarter.
You see that wristband of Vinny Testaverde there? He has 102 plays on that wristband.
500-page book. Richie Anderson in the backfield. Toss to Richie on 3rd and 3. And he is a yard short of the 1st down. Tripped up by Lito Shepherd. Flag down.
Well, you know that if it's not against the Cowboys, Bill Parcells goes for it on 4th down. I think he goes for it on 4th down more than any coach in the NFL.
Down by 3 touchdowns, 16 minutes to play. You have to.
And I mean, he thinks like on 3rd down.
Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
Al Johnson. So that's a 3rd down now coming up. and 13.
Al Johnson was the center. He pulled. There's that wristband I was talking about that they have every play there. You know, first down play, second, third and long, third and short, red zone, goal line, short yardage, shots. They have everything. And I'll tell you, I mean, if it's nothing else, it's a heck of an eye chart for Vinny Testaverde. 41 years old. If you can read that like that, then you don't need anything.
You need those little $14 reading glasses.
I mean, I think all your stuff is pretty good if you can read that little writing.
Third down and 13. Winning tonight. Great pass rating. Third and 13 as he retreats here and is taken out of the pocket and then making the catch, but falling down is Darian Barnes, and he gets covered up right there. So now you've got 4th down and long in the final minute of the third period.
Well, Bill Parcells isn't going to go for it on 4th down here. Again, and that was that penalty, that Al Johnson penalty. I know that, you know, had he had 4th down and short and he'd not had that penalty, he would have gone for it. I don't know that you wouldn't check a fake here very, very closely.
This would be the spot if you're going to do it. Instead, it's a little pooch kick. Fair caught 16-yard line. Lito Shepherd with 7 ticks remaining. So one play for Philadelphia remaining in the third quarter in what is a 3-touchdown ball game. 3 touchdowns tonight for Terrell Owens. Most TD passes in the season in the Eagles history. Norm Van Brocklin, Tommy McDonald, Sonny Jurgensen, and Tommy McDonald in 61 the next year. Ron Jaworski and Mike Quick, and then a dozen. McNabb to Owens. And Owens tonight, 3 different celebrations. He had the what I call the skater's waltz. I guess it could be speed skating practice. He had jumping on the mini star in the end zone, and then the slam dunk after number 3.
How many do you think Tommy McDonald had when he did that?
I remember the first guy to ever do that. Well, after Tommy, Brian Westbrook gets taken down, and that's the end of the quarter. So we played 3 in Irving, Texas, with the score Philadelphia 42, Dallas 21. And Monday Night Football will resume after this message from our ABC stations.
He just loves football, and he's like a man genius. This is the way to start it.
Welcome to
Monday Night Football. Patriots, Chiefs, next Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC.
America's hottest products are here. And just when you've seen one, there comes another, and another. And they're all at your Dodge dealer. Like the all-new Magnum RT, with an available 340 horsepower Hemi and unique rear lift access gate. Velocity meets versatility. Now get $1,000 in November bonus cash on Dodge Magnum. America's hottest products are at your Dodge dealer.
Ready for winter? We are.
The new Jeep Liberty Renegade. With Command Track 4-wheel drive, a 3.7-liter PowerTech V6 engine, and Jeep Trail-rated capability, it never backs down from a challenge. Get 0% financing plus November bonus cash for a total savings of up to $3,700 on one of America's hottest 4x4s.
Jack in the Box is proud to be a part of football on 6 on Your Side.
Back we come as you look at downtown Dallas. We're in Irving. Al Michaels with John Madden and Michelle Tafoya. You're looking at Bill Parcells and Andy Reid, and Reid's team trying to go to 8-1 right now. It is the beginning of the fourth quarter. And 2nd and 13 for the Philadelphia Eagles from their own 14-yard line. As McNabb throws, it's caught by Westbrook, and Westbrook takes it up to the 23-yard line. McNabb tonight 336 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 of them to Owens, and Dexter Coakley is down on the artificial surface. Outside linebacker, the speedy 8th-year man from Appalachian State. Brady James will come in to replace him. Injury timeout.
Who needs an erectile dysfunction treatment that can work up to 36 hours? Couples who don't want to put their lovemaking on a schedule. Couples who just like to let it happen. 36-hour Cialis is for couples who like to choose the moment that's right for them. Because Cialis is the only ED treatment proven to both go to work fast and work up to 36 hours. Cialis is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems, or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor and ask if Cialis is right for you. Then ask your partner what she has in mind. 36-hour Cialis. When the moment is right, will you be ready?
Try being Kris Kringle's little brother. Man, you never win. Even now, I'm not good at this holiday stuff. But with BestBuy.com, it's easy for us regular guys to pull off holiday miracles, too. It's for me. I'll get it. I thought their stores were big, but, oh, man, they have even more great stuff online. There's only one Kris Kringle. For the rest of us, there's Best Buy.
Tomorrow at 10, 6 on your side. Police say they're arresting drunk drivers not just once.
So you've been drinking all tonight, sir?
But 2 or 3 times.
You turn around, place your hands behind your back.
It's not just their life they're risking, it's yours. Tomorrow at 10, 6 on your side.
This Saturday, Brent Musburger, Gary Danielson with you from Columbus. The Michigan-Ohio State game. Virginia also taking on Georgia Tech. Out on the West Coast Saturday, Washington and Washington State will have at it. 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's your college football on ABC this weekend. Coakley walks off and his play resumes. Owens makes the catch. And Owens out to the 31-yard line for a first down, as Terrell has now caught 6. The first touchdown for Owens tonight, he had that skater's wall / speed skating thing, a combination, I think, of what, Eric Heiden and Hans Brinker right there. Then he's on the mini star in the end zone for his second, reminiscent of a few years ago, out in the middle of the field, and then slam dunk to promote our NBA coverage beginning Christmas Day with the Heat and the Lakers after touchdown number 3. On 1st and 10, going deep. Owens again, but a little too deep down the sideline where he was covered by Lance Frazier.
One thing about McNabb and Owens and Andy Reid calling the plays, they will keep taking shots at you. You know, I mean, a lot of teams, they get this lead 42-21. They get into the 4th quarter. They slow it down. They run. They try and take time off the clock. Not Andy Reid. Andy Reid just knows one thing. Man, you start firing and you keep firing.
There's that football collection there. 6 touchdowns tonight, 4 in the air, 2 on the ground. Owens comes out for the moment. 2nd and 10 on the 30-yard line. Here's Westbrook swinging to the outside. Nice patient bit of running, tackled by Williams, gains about 7. Here's Michelle.
Well, you guys were talking about wide receiver celebrations, and I talked with a couple of Hall of Fame wide receivers from another era, Steve Largent and John Stallworth. Now, Steve Largent said he had mixed feelings about it. On the one hand, those dances in the end zone are fun and different, but he said on the other hand, it's like a guy standing at the end of the Ford assembly line taking all the credit for that brand new car that rolls off as if no one else had a hand in it. As for Stallworth, he said, you know, it's what the public wants, those end zone dances, so the players are just giving the public what they're craving. What he was critical of, though, guys, was the wide receivers talking to coaches and quarterbacks on the sidelines. He said there's got to be a more appropriate time for that.
Yeah, that happens a lot. 3rd and 2. And McNabb's pass is incomplete, intended for Chad Lewis, and Philadelphia will punt. I mean, how many times have we seen it, John, in the past few years? You've got, you know, Keyshawn Johnson talking to John Gruden in Tampa. Randy Moss is always talking to Mike Tice in Minnesota. Dennis Green before that.
McNabb trying to get to Terrell Owens. A week ago, Terrell Owens trying to talk to McNabb. That stuff doesn't bother me as long as you keep your hands off.
Yeah. Johnson's punt. Run back by Patrick Creighton here. And Dallas will begin this drive from its own 38-yard line. Testaverde back into the game. Philadelphia up by 21.
Scent is the strongest scent tied to memory. How will you be remembered? Red Zone Invisible Solid with a controlled release scent system. It's the longest lasting invisible solid from Old Spice. So you smell great all day and all night. Red Zone Invisible Solid. Stay in the zone. Also try new Red Zone Body Wash and Body Spray in the same great scents.
I'll be right there, Grandma.
Okay, hon.
You'll never forget the people you hurt when you wanted to get high.
Hey, it's me.
Hi.
You want anything from McDonald's?
Whatever, you know what I like.
Sure.
I have no clue what she likes. Most of the time, I'm thinking about bass fishing. Ooh, a lot of choices on the dollar menu.
That. All of it. I got a McChicken sandwich. For me. Ooh, I got a fruit and yogurt parfait. For me. And I got a double cheeseburger.
That's for me.
Who knows you better than me, huh?
He saved a boy from a dangerous father.
You're staying with me.
Now,
Ben killed his mother. You can't tell me the courts are going to seriously consider giving Michael back to him.
he'll stop at nothing to save him again. New Blue, Tuesday 10/9 Central only on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
Javon Curse none the worse for wear. He's back in the game after he was shaken up on the last series. And now Testaverde goes to work. Starts by hitting Witten here. Gain of 8 yards up to the 46-yard line for the tight end.
You know, sometimes when something like that happens, like it happened to Javon Curse, you know that something could be wrong, and you don't want to get up because you don't want to check everything. But once you do get up and you run off and you check all your parts, you know, your hips, your knees, your ankles, and everything's still kind of in place and working. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And a great sense of relief. Second down and a short 3 from the 46-yard line. Witten again, and that's his 7th catch of the night. 7 catches for Witten. Ball will be spotted at the 50-yard line.
You know, don't you feel that Vinny Testaverde is more in tune with Jason Witten than any of his other receivers? You would think, you know, because they played with the Jets together and all that stuff, that it would be Keyshawn Johnson, but just in practice and watching him and playing in the game, I think it's Jason Witten.
Well, Johnson tonight has caught just 2 for 27. Witten 7 catches. He's the team's leading receiver. 52 for the season. Ball at the Eagle 49-yard line, and they give it to Keyshawn on the end around. He tries to turn the corner, and as he does, he is met right there as Brown comes up, and Burgess is the first guy to make contact with him. Spotlight recap coming up here. Donovan McNab, 345 through the air and 4 touchdowns. 3 touchdown catches for Terrell Owens tonight. He's caught a half dozen overall. We've been talking about Witten. 2 touchdowns for the tight end here. 2 turnovers, very costly for Dallas. And I think if you're Dallas, you go back to that very first play when there was no fumble ruled on that punt return early on. There should have been. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Eddie George picks up a couple, and the crowd hates the play call.
He was talking about Jason Witten and how he's caught so many passes. The wide receivers totally have only caught 3 passes tonight, and so I think a lot of that is scheme. I mean, they've moved Jason Witten around. He's been outside, he's been tight end, he's been in the backfield. A lot of it is scheme to get the ball to him. But that's just not enough, is it? I mean, you have to, you have to have a runner that gains some yards and another receiver or 2 that catches more balls.
Averaging over 100 yards receiving in each of the last 4 games for the emerging star. Testaverde throwing, and is lucky that one wasn't picked off. Roderick Hood got a hand on it. Quincy Morgan cut off the pattern.
Yeah, we talk about how they move Witten around. They also move defensive players around, and Javon Curse is in this position again that we call Joker. He's usually a defensive end, but he lines up in a linebacker location, and he lines up just to try and hit that gap and break it and go right up the middle. The Cowboys did a good job of picking him up.
They'll punt. How to get the name Joker?
They just call that linebacker that moves around the Joker.
Joker's wild. Ball winds up in the end zone.
I think it's a word for a guy that's not a linebacker, a defensive lineman, playing a linebacker position, and he's wild.
Joker's wild, exactly.
We need a call.
Donovan McNab still throwing, but not this time. Flag thrown from the umpire, meaning we're going to have this one coming back on 99.6% of the occasions when the umpire throws the flag. You know what it means.
You know, Donovan McNab is one of those guys that can still play a game, and have fun and laugh. And
number 68, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Know that he ran all those yards and it was going to come back, and but I guess you can have a smile on your face when you're ahead 42-21. He said last night that that Pittsburgh game left such a bad taste in their mouth that they just couldn't wait to get back to get to this one. I think he got that taste out of his mouth.
We talked about whether that was an aberration last week or a forerunner or a precursor to something else. And tonight, at least offensively, I mean, they've been tremendously in sync.
No, they're the real deal. I mean, this is the best team in the NFC.
1st and 20, ball at the 10-yard line. Levens.
What was that word you used? The horse racing term?
Oh, the term in horse racing, it's called a throwout race. If a horse wins 6 races in a row,
throwout, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he goes off as a 1-5 favorite, and he finishes 10th. Then you have to say, well, wait a minute, let's throw that race out. He just had a bad day.
Well, that's what that game. But again, they did get whipped though by Pittsburgh, but it is a throwout game, and like we said, Andy Reid just took it and fixed it, and then came back here and just went back to work.
And next week they go home and they'll take on Washington. From the 16 on 2nd and 14. That's batted and incomplete. Greg Ellis got his hand on it. Make it 3rd and 14. A little bit more right now about Donovan McNab.
My one-word philosophy, teamwork. My nickname, Big Five. My favorite foods, red beans and rice and macaroni and cheese. The world's greatest athlete, Michael Jordan. Will Ferrell makes me laugh so hard, it hurts. Yeah, I just enjoy life.
And there's Mommy in the shadows back there. Wilma looking on through this binocs as Westbrook takes him on 3rd and long, and he's going to pick up the first down. And a flag comes in. For the moment, it would be a first down for Westbrook. However, it appears to be against the Philadelphia Eagles. which it is.
87. 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. Repeat third down.
I usually say that anytime there's a big run, a wide receiver usually makes a block, and that was Todd Pinkston. And maybe you could add, or they hold.
That win, linebacker.
The middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, who, when things are going well, usually makes a lot of tackles for the Cowboys, but hasn't seemed to have been in on a lot of tackles tonight.
Can't remember calling his name, except for the intros when you had that win, and Marcellus Wiley called himself that dude and haven't called his name tonight either. Wynn leads the team in tackles. 3rd and 15. 8.5 to go in the 4th after the penalty. McNab chased. Again escapes. Going to his left. Pump faking. Throwing on the run. And it is. You don't talk about a guy all night, and it's that win. There's a flag. I think McNab, I think, was beyond the line of scrimmage.
And out of gas.
And out of gas, too.
I think McNab has been out of gas a couple of times tonight. But, you know, he was a basketball player at Syracuse, and a lot of things that he does on the field as a quarterback are basketball type things. You know, I mean, where you have to quickly get your body in a different position and get rid of the ball.
Number 5 was beyond the line when he threw the ball. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the pass and a loss of down. 4th down.
You know, as a coach, you'll take that. I mean, when a guy is working as hard to stay alive, to keep the ball alive, to find a guy downfield, and he goes over the line, you're very, very happy with the way he plays. I'd take that kind of effort anytime.
Dirk Johnson, oddly, in a game in which they have 6 touchdowns, and there's a whistle before this one. This will be, in a moment, his 6th punt of the game.
No play. When I blew the whistle to start the play, some players thought I was stopping the play and took a knee. Therefore, no play. It's 4th down.
That's a first.
I have never heard that one before. He blew the whistle to start the play, and some players took a knee.
Okay.
I think a lot of these players are spent in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a tough, hard-played game, and I think a lot of them are looking to take a knee.
Well, 738 yards of offense combined. Great bounce. Dirk Johnson rolls out of bounds up at about the 45-yard line with 8:12 remaining in Texas. Jeffrey Lurie, his wife Christina there to his off his left shoulder. And what a job he has done. He bought that team about 10 years ago for a then record $180 million. As Testaverde throws, and that's incomplete. And right now, when you look at the franchises in this league, you'd look at Philadelphia and New England with what Bob Kraft has done is very much, I think, the model franchises in the NFL at the moment.
I think they've done a great job. You know, Bill Parcells was talking about the Eagles being in the championship game the last 3 years, and he says, you know, the circus doesn't stay in town forever, but I think Jeffrey Lurie's trying to keep the circus in town forever, and they go out and they get a Terrell Owens. They get a Javon Curse. I mean, they are making their team better.
2nd and 10. That pass is pulled in by Quincy Morgan, who gets position on the defender and brings it in. And John, so many teams talk about salary cap hell. They come in and out of it, but here's a team in Philadelphia, 3 straight titles, and you can still go out and get an Owens. They got him from from Baltimore, because he didn't want to play there, and it was kind of a convoluted thing, but they wind up with him and have to pay Curse a ton of money too.
Yeah, and then some of their players they brought in and started molding them before they lost their corners, like Sheldon Brown and Lito Shepherd.
And here comes Jeremiah Trotter, who was an Eagle, and they let him go and wanted too much money, and they bring him back, and he's been very impactful tonight.
Right, they get Jeremiah Trotter, they get Hugh Douglas on the rebound, and the way that Jeremiah Trotter's been playing, as I said all night, he's been playing on this side of the line of scrimmage rather than sitting and waiting. Now, this is a blitz here, and he's just coming in a blitz, but he's been playing uphill the whole night, or downhill. I mean, he's been going at them the whole night, not waiting and catching.
He's been to the Pro Bowl in the past. That's his first sack since coming back to the Eagles. Second down and 18 from the 42-yard line. And a flag is thrown at the end of the play.
That was another one of those screen passes, and that time Hollis Thomas, the defensive tackle, read it, and he was going right down the line. He probably read it too well and held.
You know, John, I'm thinking of the Cowboys right now. If they don't win, they're 3-6. Eagles go to 8-1. They're not going to win the division. Long shot for a wild card. I mean, what do you do down the stretch now if you're the Cowboys?
I think, as you said, they have 3 games in 11 days, and there's not a lot you can do. I mean, this is a hand you're dealt. You can't bluff it. You have to play it. I think you play this hand for these 11 days. And then you take those 11 days to make any changes that you're going to make. So if they're going to go to a Drew Henson, I would think it would be the 3rd game from now. You know, let them play this way as well as you can.
Downfield by the offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
These next 2 games and the Thanksgiving Day, and then when you have that long stretch at 11 days, then you make any changes you're going to make.
Well, you've got at Baltimore Sunday, then Chicago here for Thanksgiving, and then the next time we see them is 3 weeks from tonight, and that will be at Seattle on a Monday night. It's December the 6th.
Yeah, and their problems really aren't at quarterback. I mean, Vinny Testaverde's not a big problem on this team.
Another guy who's not a problem is that guy, Witten. I mean, that's a good part of the future. 8 catches for Witten tonight for 130 yards.
Yeah, they just don't have a running back that can be a workhorse and carry the ball 25, 30 times a game. They don't have another wide receiver that's speed, that drive you deep. They know they need those things on offense, and their defense has just really let them down this year.
Very much so, from number 1 in the league to close to the bottom. They've given up 476 yards tonight as Testaverde guns it over the middle, and it's Keyshawn Johnson making the catch, and that'll be a first down for Dallas at the 19-yard line. Well, maybe they get Julius Jones back, the rookie running back. Could see him by the time they get to Seattle.
Yeah, that'll help. I mean, if Julius Jones is a real deal and can carry the ball 25 times, and then, they can give Vinny Testaverde some protection, but they still need, speed at that wide receiver. And whether Quincy Morgan, he's coming off a hamstring guy, whether he's that guy or not, I'm not sure.
Those guys are in the same draft. Because Keyshawn was the number 1 pick overall by the Jets. To the outside, and that pass is caught there by Patrick Creighton for a tiny gain, if any.
Yeah, that didn't work. That was a one-man screen. You bring Creighton out behind Keyshawn, and he's supposed to block that corner. Keyshawn didn't make the block, so there was no way that Patrick Creighton was going to make a play.
2nd and 10, under 5.5 to go, 4th quarter. Eagles led 35-14 at the half. And Eddie George to the 16-yard line.
And you feel somewhere they're going to throw the ball down here to Jason Witten?
Have to.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy. He's been their one weapon, usually on the right side and going up there and, running an out and up. Or, he ran one of those for a touchdown. He ran a corner for a touchdown from the right side. He's lined up on the right side this time in the slot.
That's Keyshawn outside. And intended for Witten and intercepted by Lito Shepherd. And Shepherd with only 1 man to beat, and he'll beat him, and he gets a block. And then Keyshawn's going to chase him down, but won't get there. Touchdown, Lito Shepherd. 100 yards. Got a good block from Dawkins. And 100 yards for him for the touchdown.
If the Eagles get you down there and they're going to come on a blitz, you're going to see they blitz 8 guys. And they just cover right there, and they were going to Witten. But the corner on that one side, Lito Shepherd, he was playing the outside guy. He saw the ball in the air, came off his guy, and came and made the interception. That is a heads-up play. See, here's the blitz, the pressure coming. He knows that he has one-on-one there, but see Shepard come off. He was guarding man-to-man on Keyshawn Johnson.
They're going to officially make it a 101-yard return. Akers for the point after. That's the longest return by one player of an interception in Eagles history. They had a longer one with a lateral, but Shepard 101 makes it 49-21. Stuff at ESPN.com. You also get a lot of stuff over at NFL.com. 49-21 Philadelphia.
I don't know how friendly they're going to be after this game.
Please. Terrence Copper. This is the largest number of points the Cowboys have ever allowed in a home game.
Well, you know, when you play against those two, it's always a possibility because Donovan McNab can throw the ball the length of the field and can keep so many plays alive. And Terrell Owens is such a strong, dynamic player that there are sometimes he's darn near impossible to cover. Now they're playing tag.
Yeah, they're playing. Yeah. It's about the fourth time tonight these guys have. You know, it's kind of like mocking the coverage of last week is what they're doing.
Well, and both of them are that kind of guy. I mean, McNabb loves those kind of things.
Witten up to the 29-yard line. Cowboys will be moving out of here in 2009 in a recent vote. Folks over in Arlington, as you look at Ameriquest Park where the Texas Rangers play, and John circling that area there. And right there is where the new state-of-the-art Cowboys Stadium will be built, opening in 2009. It'll have a retractable roof and will no doubt put Dallas into the Super Bowl rotation in the future.
And no Jerry Jones. It's going to be the biggest and the best that's ever been built anywhere.
It'll be Texas side.
It'll be Texas everything.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
He's not very happy about that now. You can, you know, have a new stadium and have new television contracts and all that, but doggone it, you still want to win. I don't care what, you know, whether you're a player, you're a coach, you're an assistant, you're an owner, you're a general manager. I'll tell you, just eat your guts out to lose.
It really does, and Jerry's one of the guys that truly lives and dies with winning. 2nd and 12. You know, you say, well, a guy owns a team and that's the way he's going to feel, but you know, there's a lot of, I've seen it in all sports through the years. Sometimes there's a good deal of lip service. You know, it's like the bottom line is the most important thing. If you win, it's great. If you don't win, you know, you go through the motions. But there are owners who just live and die with every win and loss, and Jerry's one of those guys. Third down and 4 from the 32-yard line.
You know, it's so tough. I mean, you know, we talked about he goes out and gets Bill Parcells as a coach, and Bill Parcells comes in last year, and they really did overachieve. I mean, they win those 10 games, and they get in the playoffs in his first year, and historically, his second year has always been the great year. So now they have all these expectations, and then this happens. And it kind of all started in training camp, I think, with, you know, around the Quincy Carter time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the story in camp. As the kick will go into the end zone for the touchback. Now, you look at Bill through the years with the Giants. He had 3 wins in his first year and 9 in his second. And the Pats, he went from 5 to 10. The Jets, 9 to 12. And this year, only 3 wins. Of course, we're only 9 games into the season, but 10 last year. The expectations were high. I think John talked about the Carter thing, which was a shock. And the deal with Carter, he was already in the league substance abuse program. Cowboys got word that he'd failed a second test, which was going to result not in a suspension, but in a 4-game fine. And I remember talking to Bill before the season, and he told us, remember, John, he said, you know what? I can't trust him. And I think he might have meant both on and off the field.
Right, and he said there's no way that a guy you can't trust can be your quarterback.
Dorsey Levens as they'll begin to run down the clock, and Coy Detmer is now the quarterback in garbage time for Philadelphia. Meanwhile, Carter, because it was a second test, and the league hasn't really referred to exactly what's taken place, but he has not been suspended. And as we mentioned before, he's now the quarterback with Chad Pennington out in New York and played pretty well yesterday. Jeff Blake now in the game, the former Bengal and Ram, Baltimore. Blake from the 24-yard line hands the ball off. Levens to the outside. To the 2-minute warning we go, and the Philadelphia Eagles will have a nice ride home as they get ready to play Washington next week. Because they're going to go to 8-1. Big night for Owens, and Philadelphia up by 28.
Welcome back to the United Way Draft. Now let's go to Erica with the latest draftee.
I'm here with Brian Dawkins, the newest volunteer for the Neighborhood Parks Association. Brian, how do you feel?
It's incredible. I just want the kids in Philadelphia to have a nice, clean place to play.
Here's some of your highlights. Take us through them.
Well, this is me moving from left to right, just blowing away leaves into a pile.
Brian Dawkins, living a dream here at the United Way Draft.
Get involved in your community. It's what matters.
He just loves football, and he's like a man genius. This is the way to start it,
Welcome to Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football. Patriots, Chiefs, next Monday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC.
Monday Night Football is being brought to you by IBM, making on-demand business a reality for companies around the world. By Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by Sears, what are you wishing for? You'll find it here. Sears, good life. Great price. Horse trailer. John? Got a couple of candidates tonight.
Yeah, I think a couple of guys that are just about automatic.
Yep. Donovan McNab, Terrell Owens. They'll be up there. They'll be on that trailer as it heads up the highways and byways to Kansas City, Mo, for next week's game. Chiefs, Pats.
And he's added so much to this team. You know, like we talked about before, everyone felt that you could always be physical with the wide receivers of the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, you could bump them with corners and do all that stuff. And then he came in and he was a new sheriff in town. And there's no more defensive backs that want to be physical with Eagle wide receivers.
Career high pass rating for McNabb tonight. Levens. We'll tick it down. It's a first down. You see him at the horse trailer.
He has a move or a dance for everything, doesn't he? But he has one when he scores 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns.
It's pretty creative when you think about it.
Well, so is McNabb. He said, hey, man, you're boring me. Is that the best stuff you got? Bring the high, hard one.
Owens with a hat trick on Monday night. I wonder where he got that skating move from, that opener tonight.
I don't know. You know, it didn't look like a speed skating thing. I think you were right. It looked more like some skating waltz deal. But I like the stuff that he does to get to those dances. I mean, sometimes the dances get all the highlights, but I mean, he made some beautiful moves. That one where he ran that post corner, he started on the post and back in the corner and was wide open against double coverage. I mean, he did some pretty good things to deserve to do those dances.
Fred Gaudelli, Drew Esikoff, the entire gang, Melissa Horton, keeping us in check here. Malibu Kelly Hayes, George Hill, Steve Hurt, all the boys and girls on the gang heading up to Kansas City. And for Bill Parcells, it's another one of those weeks. Andy Reid watches his team get healthy in a hurry after last week's loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 49-21 is our final score from Irving, Texas. Look at Javon Curse as we close it out. We'll be coming right back because coming up next is the Autotrader.com post-game show from Irving, Texas. Michelle Tafoy on the field. Michelle.
Al, no one in the history of the NFL has rushed for more yards and not been to the playoffs than Corey Dillon. For 7 seasons, he ran the ball in Cincinnati and set just about every team rushing record. But he wasn't part of a winning team, and he made his frustrations about that very public. So he agreed to have his contract restructured and be traded to the New England Patriots. And after adding a new dimension to the defending Super Bowl champions, he's now getting more positive talk than ever, especially from his teammates.
You hand the ball off to him, and you never know if he's going to gain 5 yards or 50 yards. And we have these runs that, we expect to gain 4 or 5 yards, and he's breaking them for 40 or 50-yard gains. It's a whole different element. I mean, I think teams really have to understand it. He's a tough guy to stop, and you better tackle well. You better be in the right position, and you better make sure he's accounted for.
Now, as far as watching Dillon, Brady told me he has the best